Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I just got a copy of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom early release, and I cannot wait to play this on the channel this week.
FBI, open up! FBI, open up!
Well, I didn't expect that to happen. At least not for a while anyway. But the game's leaked, so let's talk about it. Alright, what is up YouTube? My name is RSMario. I know I have been away for a little bit, but I had some work related stuff that I had to do. I didn't really have time to make videos. But we back at it though. And so the game is leaked. And to be honest, I've been kind of dodging social media because I don't want any spoilers. I don't want any story spoilers. I'll take map spoilers, boss spoilers. I'm not doing no story spoilers. Alright, you know what I'm saying? Like the first game I can say that I had covered in a while where I didn't get spoiled to the story was Scarlet and Violet. Because I actually got spoiled to the Legends Arceus story not long before the game came out. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was the first one, and it actually felt good to play through a game and not know everything other than the Pokemon. I mean, all that stuff got spoiled by Kaka. You know, you can check out any of those videos. But of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me or my Pokemon videos, which should ramp up soon because we should be getting some Pokemon information any day now. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me, as well as follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. You can follow my second channel where I talk about stuff that is not Nintendo and anime, which is the Loot Box Hero, also on YouTube. So yeah, so couple things here. I'm not going to be doing any story spoilers in this video. I will just be doing regular spoilers and getting some help covering these spoilers from an unexpected source, Kotaku. I'll also be talking about what's going on with Kotaku in this as well. So Kotaku actually got blacklisted by Nintendo from covering this game, mainly because of some articles that they wrote about Nintendo games in the past, and Kotaku has been very angry, and this has led to a pretty crazy reaction from a big-time Kotaku editor. So the article in question that got them in trouble was Metroid Dread is already running on Switch emulators. Now, here's the thing. Now, I'm not even a journalist, and I don't cover every Nintendo game, but even I know that Nintendo hates copyright stuff. Alright, when you do stuff that messes with their copyrights, like pirating and fan games and stuff, they hate that. They come for your neck. Okay? And so for a major journalistic publication to write an article about, well, basically kind of encouraging people to pirate a game, specifically Metroid Dread, because Metroid Dread was the game that they were kind of depending on to help revive the Metroid franchise and get people interested in it before Metroid Prime 4 comes out. You know what I'm saying? So to kind of try to kneecap that game by saying, oh yeah, you can just play it on the emulators, and it just came out of the blue. Because like, why would you write this article? Like, I don't understand. And then in the article, it actually has things like, hey, real quick, if you're a Nintendo lawyer or employee, just like, don't read this. It's a silly mistake, you know. Ignore this blog. You can go now. Okay, everyone else. That sounds like how I would open a video if I'm talking about leaks. Alright, that sounds like something I would do. And I'm not remotely professional. I don't even make money doing this. You are paid. Okay, you are getting paid for this. You get 2 lunches, and you get 2 breaks and a lunch. You get dental. You get dental insurance for writing this. Okay. So then they go on later in the article to say, oh, if you want to play the rest of the Metroid franchise and don't want to shell out large amounts of money on old consoles and games, your best bet is also emulation. So this is encouraging people to emulate games. As it's often the case, Nintendo, like most other publishers, is really bad about maintaining access to their past games. Thank God for pirates, emulators, modders, and hackers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then they actually link to emulators like Yuzu and Ryujin. They actually link to those emulators. Those links, which are taken out of the article now, you know what I'm saying? I had to use the way back machine to go find them. Link to YouTube videos about how you can set up the emulators. And then of course they had to do the, oh well, per Nintendo's request, you know what I'm saying, we have updated the article to generally reassert that Kotaku does not promote or encourage piracy, blah 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 blah. We got caught by Nintendo, we're sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, but that's not even the craziest part of this story. Alright? The craziest part of this story actually comes from the reaction of one of the biggest editors at Kotaku when he found out about the blacklisting. Oh, for the record, this is how I feel about publisher blacklists. Now this is Luke Plunkett, alright, putting out a picture of a World War II fighter pilot from Life magazine from back in the 40s in World War II. And now basically what you're seeing here is each one of those flags is more than likely a guaranteed kill that this guy got in World War II. Which I have to commend him because the Zero was actually a much better jet than the planes that we had in America. So for him to get 6 Zero kills, that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty weird that you would say this after getting blacklisted by a Japanese video game company. What are you trying to say, Luke? Huh? Are you okay, sir? Good Lord, it's just video games. But we're going to use Kotaku's own article that they actually made because they were mad that Nintendo blacklisted them. So they made an article detailing the leaks, basically just leaking the game outright. So we're going to use their article to go through this. Alright, so the game starts with Link at full strength. You might have wondered how Link went from powerhouse at the end of Breath of the Wild to being back to 3 hearts again at the start of Tears of the Kingdom. The answer is essentially that he gets Metroided. The game begins with Zelda and him with all 20 hearts exploring the underground, only to discover the remains of dehydrated Ganon. The Demon King then swells back to life and creates a giant pit that Zelda and Link fall into. While the princess plummels to a mysterious fate, Link is pulled through the portal by a magic arm, and then he awakens on the floating islands with no powers and only a small bit of health, ready to set out on a new adventure. So this is actually a pretty cool way to kind of depower Link for his next adventure. Because a lot of games kind of have that problem, specifically sequels, direct sequels. Like, how do you... Because you can't just let the person be at the same power they were at the end of the last game. Because, I mean, then they're just going to steamroll to the beginning of this game. So you have to find a way to depower them. And Metroid did that by basically having something happen every game for you to lose all your gear. And then you have to go and get new gear or get your gear back. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. So the next thing they cover here is they say you can't rush to the end. So basically, you can't go straight to Ganon, essentially. Breath of the Wild was old school in letting Link take on Calamity Ganon right at the beginning of the game if players decide to. This doesn't seem to be the case here. As of yet, I haven't seen any footage of players managing to initiate the final boss fight from the start of the game, and it appears that the temples are tackled out of order. The end of the game is off limits until then. So basically, you can't go straight to Ganondorf. And I think this has a story issue. I want to say more than likely it has something to do with the Master Sword. Like maybe you have to go through these temples, which we're going to get into a little bit later. And you have to some kind of way purify the Master Sword with whatever you get from the bosses in these temples. I don't know because I haven't watched any of the boss fights or anything like that, so I don't know. This is not a leak. Not a leak. So then it says companions help in boss fights. So a new generation of champions will be helping Link this time around. And from the streams I've seen, it looks like they'll be present for at least some of the game's boss encounters. Each one accompanies Link through their local temple area with a special ability that can be triggered to assist against the boss or solve puzzles. It's not clear how much more involved they'll be this time around, but it seems way closer to having an NPC along for the ride than Breath of the Wild's champions did. So that's actually pretty cool. I actually figured that this would be a thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you saw Link with the new champions a lot in the trailers, specifically the last trailer. So I kind of figured this would be a thing. So this is actually kind of cool. I wonder, can you can you do like they do in Skyrim and get them to tag along with you in other places too? That would be kind of cool. I doubt it though. So there's still shrines in the game. So they said, don't worry, Breath of the Wild's mini puzzles, sanctums, have returned, and there are a bunch littered all over the map. Some players are saying there's over 100 in addition to all the sky islands and caves, which that's pretty cool. So this is something that I think we called a long time ago. I think a lot of people in the Zelda community called this a long time ago, basically saying that the green swirls were going to be Zonai shrines that replaced the Sheikah shrines that were in the first game. So of course they're probably connected to boosting your power in some way, or again maybe they're part of purifying the Master Sword. Even though I doubt they will force you to do 100 temples or 100 shrines to do something as central to the game. That would be a bit much, but you know. So the underworld map is massive. Now I actually was able to get this one before a lot of leaks got taken down. So there's a picture of it here. Hinted in the launch commercial, Tears of the Kingdom features an entire area that's deep underground and beneath Hyrule's surface. Maps make it look as big as the overworld. In fact, most of it is shrouded in darkness, with Link lighting up areas as he progresses, but it appears to be sprawling. Only time will tell how populated this thing is. So now again, if you remember the big giant leak that I talked about, I think it was last week. It's been a while since I had to do some other stuff. But they kind of talked about the underground and how the underground was like this lost Zonai city or whatever. This seems like it could be something like that, because there are some pictures that I saw that had actual text under there, and it was Zelda describing the Zonai statues. So maybe the underground was where they lived before they moved to the Sky Islands for whatever reason. Alright, so Gleeoks. So Gleeoks come in all different kinds. So the three-headed hydras from the original Zelda, Legend of Zelda, that fans spotted in the recent trailers do indeed come in several different forms, reminiscent of Breath of the Wild's varied Lynel types. Players appear to have so far discovered electric, fire, and ice types, as well as baby Gleeoks and a tri-elemental one. That one's probably gonna be crazy. So one that, I guess one where each head is a different element. That's gonna be a crazy fight. So I'm expecting maybe that the Gleeoks are gonna be kind of like the Lynels, which the Gleeoks, they sound worse than the Lynels though, as far as a boss though. Like that feels like it should be like a big boss and not like some kind of little mini boss or like area boss or something. That looked like a whole damn Elden Ring villain. You know what I'm saying? So then we got the big one, the big leak that they kind of dropped here, and they said that dungeons are confirmed, sorta. So probably the most requested feature missing from Breath of the Wild are traditional dungeons. Tears of the Kingdom appears to have 5 temples and a 6th dungeon that consists of Ganon's castle, more than likely Hyrule Castle that he took over. Hackers have already data mined the layouts for some of these locations. I don't have any of those pictures. They all got taken down. Multiple levels similar to previous Zeldas. Each temple seems to have an initial mini puzzle area that leads to it. So when he said initial mini puzzle, I'm assuming maybe something similar to like they did with the Divine Beasts. And then it said, once inside, a special companion ability that corresponds with the temple's element helps players solve puzzles leading up to familiar boss battle. I've seen parts of the Wind and Fire Temple streamed, and while they might not be as complex as some of the series' more famous labyrinths, they look a little bit more thematic than the first game's Divine Beasts. I think a lot of things would be better than Divine Beasts, I'm gonna be honest. I think that was kind of the most lackluster part of Breath of the Wild for me, outside of the boss battle. The boss battle in there was pretty cool. But this leg is gonna be bananas. Tell me what you think down below. Tell me what you think about Kotaku getting blacklisted, the crazy racial angle that came out of this. I don't know what Luke Plunkett was thinking, but he protected them tweets real quick. He is protected now. That man ran. That man ran from the heat. So tell me what you think down in the comments down below. And as always, people, like, comment, subscribe, and keep it real.